You're not a criminal. You're an entrepreneur. You've worked 80 hours a week for 3 years on a dream that is currently dying. Your bank account has $400 in it. Your rent is due tomorrow. Your investors are calling, and for the first time, you don't pick up. But then the phone rings again. It's a venture capitalist. He's ready to wire you $50,000, but he needs to see one thing: your proprietary algorithm in action. You don't have an algorithm. You have a spreadsheet and a prayer. Do you tell him the truth and lose everything? Or do you record a fake video, show him what he wants to see, and save your dream? You click record. You lie. The money hits your account. Congratulations! You just built level 1 of a $100 million empire, and you didn't even realize the trap you just set for yourself. Level 1. The necessary lie. Level 1 isn't about greed. It's about survival. That $50,000 is gone in a week. Salaries, server costs, back rent. To keep the momentum, you need more. But now you can't tell the truth, because the truth means admitting the first $50,000 was a fraud. You hire a charismatic salesperson. Let's call him the closer. You don't tell him the tech is fake. You sell him the vision so hard that he believes it in his soul. Now he's out there selling your lie with the level of sincerity you could never fake. By the end of the month, you have $500,000 in the bank. You feel a rush of power, not guilt. You tell yourself you'll build the real tech later. Right now, you just need to grow. Level 2. The social proof trap. You're 25 years old. You're featured in a 30 under 30 list. You wear the black turtleneck. You talk about disrupting the industry. Investors aren't looking at your tech anymore. They're looking at your fame. This is the psychological law of social proof. Because Forbes wrote about you, the big banks assume someone else did the due diligence. You move into a glass office in Manhattan. You lease a Porsche. Not because you want it, but because a $100 million founder doesn't take the subway. The scam is no longer just a lie in a spreadsheet. It's a performance. You are the lead actor, and the stage is your life. Level 3. The Ponzi pivot. It's been a year. The real tech still doesn't work. In fact, it's impossible. But you've raised $10 million. This is where the business changes. You aren't an entrepreneur anymore. You're a professional borrower. You use the money from Series B investors to pay back the returns to Series A investors. You're orchestrating a high-speed shell game. Every morning you wake up at 4 a.m., heart hammering against your ribs. You check the news, terrified to see your name. You realize that the only way to stay out of prison is to get even bigger. If the company is worth $100 million, you're too big to fail. Level 4. The internal rot. You have 50 employees now. Half of them are starting to ask questions. Your CTO comes into your office, face pale. He found the manual overrides you installed to fake the data. You don't panic. This is where you become a villain. You don't explain, you attack. You remind him of his NDA. You mention his stock options. Options that are worth $2 million on paper, but zero if the truth comes out. You realize that everyone around you is now an accomplice. They stay silent not because they like you, but because they're just as deep in the mud as you are. You've built a cult of sunk cost fallacy. Level 5. The $100 million peak. You did it. A major conglomerate offers to buy your company for $100 million. This is the exit, the moment you clear the debt and disappear. But there's a catch: the due diligence. They want to send in their own engineers to audit your tech for 30 days. This is the climax, the 30 days of pure psychological torture. You spend $1 million of investor money on consultants, who are actually just hackers meant to create a smoke and mirror simulation. You're not sleeping. You're surviving on espresso and Xanax. You look at your reflection and don't recognize the person staring back. You've traded your soul for a number in a bank account. Level 6. The reckoning. One person. That's all it takes. A junior auditor finds a single line of code that says, if user is auditor, show fake data. The house of cards doesn't fall, it explodes. Within 48 hours, the FBI is in your lobby. Your friends are already in rooms with federal prosecutors trading your head for their freedom. The closer, he's the first to testify against you. The CTO, he claims you forced him. You sit in your Porsche watching the tow truck hook it up. You realize the $100 million was never real. It was just a high-interest loan from the Department of Justice. The end. The psychological aftermath. You're 32 years old. You're in a federal prison in West Virginia. You have nothing but time and the ghosts of the people you ruined. The worst part isn't the cell. It isn't the loss of the money. It's the realization that you were actually smart enough to build something real. If you had just told the truth in level 1, you might have been a success. Instead, you're a case study. You watch the news on a grainy prison TV. You see a new 24-year-old founder on the cover of a magazine. He's wearing a black turtleneck. He's talking about disrupting the industry. You see the look in his eyes. You see level 1. And you know exactly how his story ends.